Days of Our Lives preview video for the week of December 5 reveals that creepy Sophia Choi will surprise Rachel Black at Bayview after Brady Black says a heartbreaking goodbye to his daughter. Duel's weekly promo kicks off with DiMera, who looks puzzled over a memory of Kat Green reading Wuthering Heights to him. won't be able to make sense of that memory at first, but he'll grow obsessed with figuring it out. Days fans know that Kat indeed read to while he was comatose and bandaged in Italy. Kat was at the same facility, so may solve that mystery eventually and become increasingly drawn to her as a result. Next, Brady will face the difficult task of leaving Rachel at Bayview for her inpatient treatment. Rachel will have her backpack on and expect to go home with Brady, but he'll tearfully exit as she screams behind the closed door. Despite Rachel's meltdown, Brady will just have to trust that Bayview is the best place for her right now. However, that may not truly be the case due to another patient who could be a bad influence on Rachel. It turns out Sophia is only pretending to be totally checked out from the world. Sophia is actually very aware of what's going on around her, so she'll get news on Rachel's arrival and decide to seek her out. Once Sophia pops up, Rachel will recognize her as the girl who previously claimed she was having Tate Black's baby. Tate wasn't the father after all, so Rachel got updates on that and knows Sophia's supposedly been stuck in a trance at Bayview. Sophia will greet Rachel in a creepy way that lets us know trouble is brewing. Days spoilers say Sophia will ask Rachel to keep quiet about the fact that she can still talk and interact normally, so they'll start keeping secrets and plotting together. Next, Jennifer Horton Devereaux and Jack Devereaux's custody lawsuit will move forward, so Thomas DiMera will also go before a judge and answer questions. Chad DiMera obviously won't show up, so the judge will wonder when he was last heard from. The kidnapper used Chad's phone to text Jack and Jennifer on Thanksgiving, but viewers know he's actually stuck in captivity with Tony DiMera and Kristen DiMera. Days' weekly preview video also shows Stephanie Johnson entering a hotel room with a suitcase. It looks like Stephanie will be in Chicago for her book tour, so that'll give her stalker a chance to lurk outside her suite and threaten to cause more trouble. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest Stephanie's past captor, Owen Kent, may be the one responsible, so stay tuned. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, December 1st reveal that DiMera will work with a new partner while dinner gets derailed across town. Sarah Horton Kyriakis will also deliver some news that stuns Maggie Kyriakis. So let's talk about what's coming up on Days. For starters, Xander Kyriakis will be throwing himself a bit of a pity party when Gwen von Leuschner comes along. Gwen will see that Xander is miserable and perhaps make sure he doesn't spend Thanksgiving alone this year. Since Gwen still wants Xander for herself, this will be a good opportunity for her to make some progress. Xander and Gwen will sizzle again in the not-too-distant future, so Gwen's on the verge of getting what she wants. In the meantime, Days spoilers say Sarah will give Maggie some shocking updates. Will Sarah confide in Maggie about Rachel Black intentionally causing her allergic reaction? Sarah might even admit Rachel shot since she can trust Maggie to keep what Brady Black told her under wraps. Whatever the case, Maggie should find out about Rachel's mental health issues and the fact that she's headed to the adolescent ward of Bayview soon enough. Other Days spoilers say a Thanksgiving dinner gathering will get derailed. Abe Carver, Paulina Price, Johnny DiMera, and Chanel Dupree DiMera will plan to share a meal, but there'll be a delay for some reason. That could have something to do with fussy baby Trey DiMera, since he's having a hard time adjusting to his new adoptive parents and surroundings. Trey may cry his head off and postpone dinner until someone can calm him down. Then again, this could be about Theo Carver, since he'll be busy with on Monday's Duel episode. Maybe Abe and the others will be stuck waiting on Theo while he's strategizing with at the DiMera mansion. and Theo will indeed join forces, so we'll see if this is about DiMera Enterprises drama, finding their missing family members, or both. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Theo and will put their heads together for a collaborative effort, so stay tuned. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that the show is recasting a major role, so a villainous return is about to rock Salem. The DiMera family will get an exciting shakeup soon, so let's talk about some important casting news. TV Guide confirms that Dan Gauthier is taking over the role of Peter Blake, who was last seen when Jason Brooks played him from 1993 to 98. After an extended absence from the canvas, Days is finally ready to bring Peter back for a significant Days story arc. Dan Gautier might be familiar to some soap fans due to a previous role. Since Gautier was the 11th actor to play Kevin Buchanan on One Life to Live, he knows a thing or two about joining a daytime drama as a recast. In Gautier's TV Guide interview, he admitted he decided to just bring a fresh take on Peter Blake. It's been long enough since Peter's last appearance that it was easy for Gautier to put his own spin on the character. I went in with whatever the dialogue and the storyline are, it's just my own take on this, Gautier said. I didn't watch anything or do any research as far as what happened in the past. I just took what was in front of me and went that way. Days spoilers say Dan Gautier will make his debut as a Peter Blake recast on December 19th, so it won't be long until viewers see him. For those who aren't familiar with Peter, he's Kristen DiMera's brother and a bit of a troublemaker. Stefano DiMera adopted the siblings, so Peter always had a wild streak, like Kristen, and is no stranger to committing crimes. Peter vanished after a prison stint, but he's still been mentioned on-screen occasionally as part of DiMera board votes. Now Peter is coming back as more than just a name that's mentioned during corporate chaos. Peter will be part of all the DiMera turmoil that's heating up, so that's something to look forward to. Duel recently released a sneak peek video that shows Kristen tearfully begging a mystery man for forgiveness in the hospital. It looks like Peter will turn out to be the person on the receiving end of that plea. There'll be some complicated sibling developments for Peter and Kristen to work through, so stick with us for updates on all the details. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Peter's return will shake things up for the DiMera family in plenty of ways. It's a good thing Thanksgiving is over, because the latest Days of Our Lives preview indicates that the residents of Salem won't have much to be grateful for this week. Now that Chad has been forced to join Kristen and Tony in the family crypt, we're left with more questions than answers. As for poor Brady, well, read on. EJ has no idea his assistant Kat, with whom he shares a love of Wuthering Heights, is actually working with Rafe and the FBI against him. The promo opens with EJ holding a copy of the book as he hears Kat's voice reciting a passage. But could the story of Heathcliff's drive for revenge be a clue as to what is happening to the DiMera family? Brady and Tate spent as much time as they could with a sedated Rachel on Thanksgiving, but now she's been transferred to Bayview, where Brady is forced to leave the young girl. Per the larger winter preview, we know Marlena tells Brady that remaining in Bayview for now is what's best for Rachel. But she won't be alone. She quickly makes friends with Sophia, who isn't as catatonic as she's let on, and for some reason is talking in a creepy baby voice. Chad's unexpected trip to the DiMera crypt doesn't bode well for him, given the looming custody lawsuit over his kids. A meeting with a judge, which he naturally misses, will likely give Jack and Jen the win they are hoping for. Finally, Stephanie and Alex are off on her book tour, and their first stop is Chicago. However, Alex is a little unnerved by a creepy piece of fan mail from someone professing undying love for Stephanie. Well, as Stephanie checks into her hotel room, she had better double-bolt the door, as the mysterious figure in black lurks in the hallway. Could it be her former stalker, Owen, back to make her his? At the Hernandez house, the family is getting ready for dinner, and Gabby announces that she's invited Philip. Rafe thinks inviting her boyfriend over for Thanksgiving is a big deal, but Gabby tries to play it down. When they realize they are out of milk for the mashed potatoes, Gabby runs out to get some. Javi and Leo wake up in bed, and Ari yells up, asking if they are coming down for dinner. Leo thinks they should talk to his family about privacy. Javi suggests they get their own place to play house together, and they kiss. While grabbing milk, Gabby runs into JJ and Philip out in the Horton Square. JJ just got off a shift and learns that Gabby invited Philip for dinner. Philip escorts her home, and JJ looks down as they walk off arm in arm. Back at the Hernandez house, Rafe and Ari talk football, and he's proud to learn she's killing it in the dorm's fantasy football league. Leo comes down, and he and Rafe banter back and forth. Leo actually has something to talk to Rafe about, and Rafe wants to speak to him too. But they're interrupted when Philip and Gabby arrive. Philip thanks Rafe for having him, and Leo tells Rafe he wants to finish their talk later. Rafe demands they keep up the family tradition, and everyone says what they are thankful for. Javi is thankful for the time they had with Tesoro, his family, and Leo. Rafe is grateful for the family, and Ari and Gabby agree. Gabby is also thankful she has Gabby Chic back, and Ari is thankful for being able to live in the dorms. Philip says that after the year he had, he is thankful for forgiveness and loyalty, even when he didn't always deserve it. Gabby is clearly uncomfortable by Philip's touching words. They finish dinner, and Leo and Rafe finally get a chance to talk as they clean up the kitchen. Rafe asks Leo about his investigation into EJ and his clinic, which hasn't turned up much, but makes Leo think Rafe and the FBI must also be interested in it. Leo switches the subject to himself and Javi, and Leo has a huge favor to ask. Everyone gathers back in the kitchen, and Leo surprises Javi with his mother's engagement ring. He gets down on one knee and proposes, as everyone gathers to watch. At the Hortons, Thomas helps Jennifer set the table for dinner by putting out the place cards. Maggie and Sarah are not coming, and when the boy tries to figure out where his dad should sit, he blurts out that he wants his dad as far from him as possible. Jennifer knows this is tough on the boy, but is glad he invited his dad. Thomas snaps that he only did it for Charlotte. Later, Thomas and Charlotte discuss pulling the wishbone, with Charlotte wishing their dad would come home, and Thomas hoping he never does. Jack checks on Julie, who is fluffing the couch pillows and tidying up the living room. Jack knows this is a tough day for her, but she is grateful to be spending the day with all of them. They embrace, and Julie admits that sometimes she forgets and expects Doug to just come down the staircase. She can't believe it's been a year since he left them, last Thanksgiving. Julie laments that the days drag for her now, and there hasn't been much fun in this family or house for so long. Jack knows things got messy with Chad, but Julie snaps that taking Chad's children from him is beyond messy. Jack hopes the lawsuit knocks some sense into Chad and insists he and Jennifer are not trying to hurt him, but Thomas's accident proved that action had to be taken. Julie says they are still one big family, and Jack hopes they will heal from this someday. As for today, they have to just get through it. JJ soon arrives and asks if Chad is here, but Jack says not yet. JJ asks if he can help, so Jack suggests that he help him carve the turkey, which was Doug's job. They head into the kitchen. Eventually, everyone waits around for Chad to show up before they start dinner. Julie decides to call Chad, and Jennifer quietly fumes to Jack that Chad didn't even tell them where he was going when he left, and they don't even know if he'll show up. Jack can't believe Chad wouldn't jump through hoops to be here with his kids today. Thomas eventually asks if they can eat, since he's hungry, and Jennifer says they can. They sit down to eat, and Julie leads the prayer for those who are here with them and those who can't be here today. In the DiMera crypt, Kristen and Tony eat Thanksgiving dinner out of tin cans and wonder what their brothers are doing, along with Rachel. They assume Chad is with the Hortons, EJ's alone, and Rachel likely thinks her mother skipped out on her. Tony thinks of Anna, and they both say, "We've got to get out of here!" Kristen attempts to continue to dig their way out, but cuts her hand. They try and figure out who is keeping them here, why them, and why now. Tony says whoever it is hasn't been starving them to death, as they have enough food to last for years, which makes them wonder how long they'll be kept here. Tony suggests they have so much food, possibly because more company is coming. In the Hernandez kitchen, Leo, on one knee, tells Javi that earlier he didn't get to say what he was grateful for. He was about to, but something told him to wait, and he wanted to do it this way. He says he's eternally grateful for Javier, and he knew there was something special about him the moment they met. He says they made it through a lot together this year, and he feels they are closer than ever. He never felt like he had a family until Javi brought him into his, and now he knows the love, support, kindness, and craziness of a real family. Javi says, "Yes." They kiss, and the family applauds. Gabi puts the ring, which won't fit Javi's finger, onto a necklace for him to wear until they have it turned into something that fits. Gabi then welcomes Leo to the family, and Rafe wishes them a long and happy life. At the Hortons, JJ suggests to Thomas and Charlotte that they go play Monopoly, and they head off to start the game. Jennifer fumes some more at Jack and wonders if Chad is with Kat. Jack knows what it's like to be the family pariah, and today might have been too much for Chad, what with the lawsuit. Jack just hopes he's okay. Julie's phone pings, and Jack checks it. It's a text from Chad. He says he's sorry, he just saw this message, and to tell the kids he loves them. Julie sits alone in the living room and talks to a photo of Doug, and asks him to do something to bring peace back to their family. She ends up breaking down in tears. Finally, back in the crypt, a body is dumped on the floor with its hands tied behind its back and a hood over its head. Kristen removes it, and it's a gauged Chad. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of December 1st, 2025. It shows Rachel Black being approached by a grinning Sophia Choi. Someone follows Stephanie Johnson into a hotel room. Plus, DiMera can't stop thinking about Kat Green's voice. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with EJ, who has a memory while holding Wuthering Heights. It is the same book that Kat felt drawn to in the bookstore. It is also the book that Kat read to EJ while they were both in that Italian clinic. Kat knows that it was EJ who she was reading to. Back then she didn't, but now she does. However, Kat is going to use it to the advantage of the mission she is on with Rafe Hernandez. I have to wonder if Kat and EJ could end up feeling connected, though. There is finally a room at Bayview for Rachel. However, as Brady Black walks out of the room, the little girl has a meltdown. The blonde sobs and screams for her daddy to come back. After closing the door, Brady has his own meltdown as he listens to Rachel's piercing screams. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of December 1st reveal that the preview clip shows Jennifer Horton Devereaux making a dirty move. Despite Chad DiMera being missing, she files for custody anyway. A judge finally asks, "Do you know where Chad DiMera is?" When Jennifer admits nobody does, the judge might say she can't rule until he's found or declared missing for a certain period of time. The preview clip also shows Stephanie as happy as can be. The woman rolls her luggage into a hotel room and seems so happy. However, there is a man wearing a black leather jacket and gloves following behind her. At Bayview, Rachel sees Sophia in her hospital room. The little girl says that she knows her. That is when Sophia gives a very creepy smile and says, "Hi, Rachel." Oh no, what does Sophia want Rachel to do? And what does this mean for the little girl's recovery? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of December 1st, 2025, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, December 1st, reveal some interesting moments as Salem kicks off another week. Someone receives some shocking news, while a character takes pity on an ex, and two family members team up. Find out what's set to unravel on Monday's show below. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, December 1st. Hint that Sarah Horton will have some shocking news for Maggie Kyriakis. Will Sarah tell her mom that Rachel Black purposely triggered her pistachio allergy? The woman almost died because of the incident. Had Brady Black not jumped into action? How will Maggie react to the news? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Read this. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Sophia kidnaps baby Trey. After Bayview escape, across town, it'll still be Thanksgiving in the little town, and Gwen Rizchek will take pity on Xander Kyriakis. The man literally has no one to spend the holiday with, so it looks like these two will spend it together. Days just released an extended winter preview that shows Xander and Gwen hitting the sheets. So does this happen during the December 1st episode? Speaking of Thanksgiving, Abe Carver, Paulina Price, Johnny DiMera, and Chanel DiMera will gather to break bread for the holiday. However, something will delay their meal. Will this have to do with Trey DiMera? Lastly, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday hint that EJ DiMera and Theo Carver will team up. Is this because Chad DiMera has gone missing? The DiMeras are dropping off the face of this earth one by one. It sounds like EJ and Theo may be the two who get to the bottom of things. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Monday's show? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to check back with Soap Opera Spy for all the latest Days of Our Lives spoilers, news, rumors, comings and goings, and updates. A man remembers a cryptic memory from his past, while one father is forced to make a heartbreaking choice, and another is a no-show in court. according to the Days of Our Lives spoilers. Plus, a heroine faces danger from a stalker, and an unstable teenager apparently isn't as mentally ill as she's been pretending. Here's your day's video preview for the week of December 5th, 2025. EJ holds a copy of Wuthering Heights and remembers a moment from his past, specifically a woman reading to him. "Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same," he recalls her saying. However, he has no idea that the woman is Kat. Brady is forced to make a heartbreaking choice. He gives Rachel a kiss goodbye as he leaves her at Bayview Sanitarium. "You be good," he whispers to her softly, while kissing her on the cheek. Poor Rachel cannot believe her fate. "No, no, please," she pleads with her father. Still, Brady musters the courage to leave. "Got to go. I love you, honey," he responds. "Daddy, Daddy!" cries out Rachel. Outside the door, a devastated Brady breaks down. "Oh man, I'm sorry," he says, tears streaming down his face. Yet, he knows he's doing the best thing for his troubled little girl. Jennifer has her day in court after filing a petition to gain custody of her grandchildren. Young Thomas is on hand when the judge asks, "When was the last time you heard from Chad DiMera?" Stephanie, who's off on her book tour, enters a hotel room alone. Little does she know that a mysterious man has followed her and is lurking outside it. Is it the same man who wrote her that creepy fan letter a couple of days ago? Back at Bayview, Rachel receives a visit from someone she's quite familiar with. "I know you," she says. It's Sophia, who apparently isn't as out of it as she's led everyone to believe. "Hi, Rachel," smiles Sophia. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, December 1st, 2025. It's a low-key Thanksgiving in the Kyriakis mansion as Sarah recovers from her second bout with anaphylactic shock this year. They had been anticipating a lively Thanksgiving with Xander, Philip, and Victoria. But Sarah had kicked Xander out again, and Philip decided to spend the day with the Hernandez clan. Sarah and Maggie are pretty much on their own as they discuss what happened with the pistachio ice cream. Maggie is shocked to learn that Rachel purposely tried to harm Sarah. She never imagined that Brady's little girl, whom she once thought of as her grandchild, was so troubled. Sarah wants to be there for Brady as he navigates Rachel's crisis. But that seems much easier said than done. As for Xander, he finds himself sad and alone, but at least someone takes pity on him. Gwen finds her ex-fiancé and tries to show him a good time. Will that good time lead to a bedroom at the Salem Inn so they can pick up where they left off a few months ago? Some DiMeras have gone missing, and EJ claims he has no idea where they are. Perhaps he is lying, or perhaps he really wants to find them. And that's why he teams up with Theo. Theo and EJ are going to need to put their heads together to find out who kidnapped Tony and where Kristen disappeared to when she escaped prison. Little do they know that Kristen was also kidnapped, and both Kristen and Tony are right on the grounds in the DiMera crypt. Oh, and Chad is with them too. That is what Tony and Kristen discover when they remove a hood from the latest unconscious guest. Who wants all these DiMera siblings in one place and why? Poor Kristen and Chad only want to get back to their tween children, who wonder where their parents are on Thanksgiving. Will Theo and EJ be able to rescue them? Days of Our Lives fans are in a frenzy after a mysterious DiMera family photo surfaced online. The image shows EJ, Chad, Tony, Andre, Kristen, and Theo dressed in black, standing beside an urn. Viewers now wonder whose death pushes the powerful clan into deep mourning. The picture quickly set the internet ablaze because of one detail. Every DiMera in the frame is dressed in black, and their expressions look tense and somber. The urn in the center adds weight to the idea that this is more than a symbolic moment. It looks like a memorial scene. Fans on Reddit believe the show may have finally addressed a long-running loose end. Stefano never received a proper farewell after years of storyline resets. Seeing the family united in grief leads many to suspect this moment might be that long-delayed send-off. The theory has gathered impressive momentum. One fan pointed out that EJ is wearing the Phoenix ring in the promo. That detail alone sparked intense speculation. EJ has often claimed leadership of the family, but the ring suggests a more official transition. Many believe EJ rises because Stefano dies for real this time. Some fans argue the show would finally honor Joseph Mascolo by creating a respectful, emotional tribute. They feel the moment fits EJ's recent dialogue about the House of DiMera not falling. That line now reads like ominous foreshadowing tied to the legacy patriarch's final departure. Not everyone sees Stefano in the image. A few fans say the picture on the urn does not resemble Joseph Mascolo. The urn's design also leaves room for doubt. That uncertainty opens the door for other possibilities. Viewers are now revisiting past DiMera mysteries for clues. Some believe the scene might involve the bones recently teased in the storyline. Others argue that Tony or Andre could once again be connected to the crypt plot. There is even a theory that a long-lost character like Peter Blake might tie into this moment. The speculation keeps growing each day. Another emerging theory shifts focus to secrets instead of death. Some fans believe the mourning tone might hide a huge DiMera twist. Kristen's parentage has been debated for decades. Rumors claim the show may reveal she is Stefano's biological daughter, shifting the entire family power map. This theory sits well with viewers who expect a dramatic reveal rather than a final goodbye. Days of Our Lives has a long history of using funerals for explosive story turns. A secret could be exposed during the memorial, sending shockwaves through every DiMera in the mansion. The DiMera family rarely appears united unless the situation is dire. If the urn does mark a genuine death, fans expect a major shift in the family hierarchy. EJ, Kristen, Tony, and Chad all have different agendas. A funeral could spark fresh power struggles inside the mansion. With so many threads involving missing bodies, family secrets, retconned histories, and off-screen events, the show could be preparing for something big. Whatever the truth is, viewers agree on one thing. The DiMera storyline is finally building real momentum after months of subtle clues. Days of Our Lives fans remain glued to theories, convinced a huge DiMera death or reveal is coming. The urn, the black outfits, and EJ's Phoenix ring have pushed speculation into overdrive. Whatever unfolds, Salem is about to explode again. Stay with Soap Opera Daily for every twist. History looks like it's gearing up to repeat itself in a not-so-fun way for Stephanie Johnson on Days of Our Lives. And the big question is, when danger strikes, will Alex swoop in as her hero? Or will someone else beat him to it? Let's talk about it. This week, Stephanie and Alex are heading out on her book tour, with Chicago as their first stop. But things get rocky before they even hit the Windy City. Alex is clearly not thrilled after reading a piece of fan mail from someone professing their undying love for Stephanie. She brushed it off, told him it was nothing, but Alex was so unnerved he quietly pocketed the letter and took it straight to Steve Johnson, asking him to investigate who sent it. Good instinct? Maybe, because that's just issue number 1. As for this duo, marriage might be on the table at some point, but for now, it's danger. Once Stephanie arrives and checks into her hotel room, the trouble really starts brewing. In the latest Days promo, we see danger literally lurking outside her door. In the extended winter spoilers promo, we even see a shadowy figure grabbing Stephanie. So the obvious question, is she about to be kidnapped? And if she is, will Alex actually be the one who rescues her? Let's be real, these two lovebirds were overdue for a little chaos. Things have been way too calm in their corner of Salem, and on soaps, calm is just the commercial break before the storm. Now the first guess might be Jeremy. He's already on a few people's radar. But let's not forget the wild card. Owen Knight, played by Wes Ramsey, is making a return. And we all remember the last time he crossed paths with Stephanie. Could he be targeting her again? With Stephanie's past creeping into her present and trouble lurking in hotel hallways, this storyline is about to heat up fast. Stay tuned, because someone's about to make a very unwelcome comeback. Soap Opera News has the latest soap opera comings and goings for the week of December 1st. This week's news includes some big casting news for Days of Our Lives, major news for Beyond the Gates, and more. We have all the details on who's in and who's out from your favorite daytime dramas. With so many shakeups, this week promises a lot of drama for fans. Be sure to check back next week for the latest updates on all the comings and goings from your favorite soaps. That's it for your soap opera comings and goings for the week of December 1st. Catch all 5 soaps weekdays on their respective networks and streaming platforms. Next week on Days of Our Lives, spoilers reveal that love is tested, hearts break, and one goodbye changes everything. Here's what's coming up on Days from December 5. Coming up on Days of Our Lives, Wuthering Heights is stirring up some surprising memories for EJ. As he sits in his office, he suddenly recalls a voice reading from the book. Will he finally put 2 and 2 together and realize it was Kat? And if he does, what is he going to do about it? Elsewhere, Brady faces a heartbreaking decision, having to commit his young daughter to Bayview. He kisses her, begs her to be good, and tells her he has to leave, but she pleads with him not to go. She screams after him as he walks out and closes the door. On the other side, Brady breaks down, knowing this was the last thing he ever wanted to do. Meanwhile, it looks like it may be time for the custody hearing. Judge Dabney returns and asks Thomas the one question that could flip the entire case. When was the last time he heard from his father? With Chad still missing, could this give Jennifer the upper hand? And danger lurks in the shadows as Stephanie checks into a hotel. A man in a black leather jacket and black gloves is standing just outside. Is Stephanie about to be kidnapped? Closing out the promo, we see Sophia and Rachel cross paths in Bayview. "I know you," Rachel says. "Hi, Rachel," Sophia replies, wearing a smirk that says way more than words. So, has Sophia been faking her mental break this whole time? Or is this the beginning of a dangerous new alliance? Kat asks EJ for help. Kat sparks EJ's memory. Brady tries to get through to Rachel. Sophia surprises Rachel, and then the two bond. Kayla confirms Marlena's diagnosis. Marlena takes Leo into her confidence. This is not a drill, folks. Peter Blake is returning to Salem. TV Guide magazine's Stephanie Sloan confirmed Dan Gauthier has been cast in the role of Stefano DiMera's adopted son and Kristen Blake's brother on Days of Our Lives. The Emmy-nominated Gauthier has numerous television and movie credits to his name, but is best known to soap fans as Kevin Buchanan on the beloved and defunct daytime drama One Life to Live. Gauthier played the role he played from 2003-2010. Peter Blake, originally played by Jason Brooks, first came to Salem in 1993 to join his sister Kristen and warn her against becoming involved with John Black. He was a bit of a ne'er-do-well who trafficked drugs through a club but then attempted to clean up his act. Peter was heavily involved with Jennifer, Jack and Laura's storylines, along with the DiMeras. We last saw Peter in 1998 when he was sentenced to prison time for shooting up Jennifer's funeral. Later, Stefano had him moved to a white-collar crime facility. Days of Our Lives fans would love to have some characters back on a long-term or a more permanent basis. Of course, Stefano DiMera is gone for good, even though they tend to try and bring him back in other people's bodies. And Victor Kiriakis is of course gone, but there are plenty of other characters that we miss and could still have back, even if the characters themselves are supposedly dead. Alright, first thing. So, some fans love to love her, some fans love to hate her. Hurricane Sammy Brady is a top request for a long-term return. Even when she does short-term returns, she is the ultimate queen of chaos. And when Allison Sweeney is back on Days of Our Lives, even Sammy's short visits pack a real punch. She absolutely stunned Lucas Horton and their son Will Horton, and also her exes EJ DiMera and Rafe Hernandez, her other exes, when she announced that she had gone and gotten engaged, and maybe Sammy will turn up with her new fiancé Dante Vitale, and we get to meet him. There are even online petitions asking for Allison Sweeney to come back for good. But she is very busy with Hallmark movies and other projects. So, I would be stunned if we ever got Sammy back for anything long-term because Allison Sweeney just has so many commitments. Speaking of Sammy, though, another return that we'd love to see is her son Will Horton. We see Will now and then, but not for too long at any time. So, when John Black passed away, and then they had the gala for the Tom Horton Free Clinic, we got a peek at Will. But fans would love to have him back in Salem full-time with his hubby Sonny Kiriakis, especially since Will and Gabby Hernandez's daughter, Ariana, is in Salem for college for the foreseeable future. And a lot of viewers would love to see Will back, just as, more Horton representation. Alright, next on the list is a resurrection that a lot of fans would really like to see. And that is Paige Larson. It's been a decade since Paige was on, and she was on Days of Our Lives briefly, just from 2014 to 2015, before horrible tragedy struck. She's the daughter of Eve Donovan and Eduardo Hernandez, and the niece of Teresa Donovan. And young Paige's life was, fraught with drama. Her ending was terribly tragic. She was a piano prodigy, and she dated J.J. Devereaux. If you don't remember her, they were high school sweethearts for a bit. But Eve wanted J.J. Devereaux out of Paige's life. And in a typical soapy twist, at one point, J.J. Devereaux and Eve had a steamy affair, but Jennifer Horton caught them. Also, she blackmailed Eve to back off and let J.J. Devereaux get back with Paige. And then later, she was dating a creepy drug dealer who worked for Clyde Weston. And Paige was planning to give info to J.J. Devereaux about the guy, because at that point, he was undercover DEA, I think. But then, necktie killer Ben Weston strangled Paige to death in her dorm room. And Eve later, many years later, made sure to make Ben pay when she kidnapped and tormented him. Now, of course, Paige has been back as a ghost. But since JJ's back in Salem and seems to be sticking around for a while, it would be nice if Days resurrected Paige. And they resurrected other necktie killer victims. Will was one of them, and he's back. So, why not Paige? Moving along, another character that fans would love to see back is Claire Brady. We know that Belle Black and Sean Brady's daughter had some really big drama in her life lately. So Claire was living in South Africa and dating Theo. But then he abruptly came back to Salem because he broke up with Claire after she cheated on him. And her dad, Sean, recently was in South Africa visiting Claire, and he and Belle, of course, both missed their daughter. And with a lot of recent mentions of Claire, and then with Sean just visiting her, maybe she's back soon. Plus, Claire may need to come back because her dad, Sean, may be in some life and death drama based on the big new Days of Our Lives promo that came out. It looks like he might be shot. Also, there's a couple of couples that fans would like to see back and see back together. One is a duo that we see on holidays and special events, fairly regularly, a few times a year. And that's Lonnie Price and Eli Grant. And of course, they're twins, Jules and Carver. They came back recently to meet Chanel Dupree and Johnny DiMera's adopted son Trey, and to attend the Horton Gala. Plus, Eli Grant has some FBI business to talk about with Rafe Hernandez. And of course, we know that Eli Grant and Lonnie will always be back for the holidays. But wouldn't it be great if Lonnie and Eli Grant and the twins came home to Salem for good? I know Abe Carver and Pelena Price would love it. And of course, so would fans, so would Theo, so would all their loved ones, Julie Williams, everybody. Another couple that fans would love to see back, but seems like a long shot, is Ben Weston and Kiera Weston. And of course, their two little kitties, Bo and Addie. But they seem to be having fun sailing around the world on Fancy Face, and it would be kind of a problematic return, since Robert Scott Wilson is on screen now as Alex Kyriakis. So it seems like a long shot, and that's why we generally only get Kiera back without Ben. But I had to mention it because it's something that fans ask for. Speaking of Stephanie Johnson's man, Alex Kyriakis, I think it'd be a whole heck of a lot of fun and drama to have Joy Wesley back in Salem soon, because at this point, she should be ready to pop with her and Alex's baby, or may have already popped that puppy. If you recall, Joy lied to Alex and Stephanie and said she was not pregnant when she most certainly was. So maybe Joy waddles back into Salem in time to drop the baby, or waltzes back in holding an adorable newborn. Alex said he's interested in kids, but Stephanie doesn't seem to be. But in that big long promo, it looks like Alex and Stephanie might be getting married. So that's a perfect time for Joy to walk right back in, because we know Salem weddings attract disaster. Another couple that people are dying to see return for more than just a minor arc or a drive-by, of course, is OG super couple Bo Brady and Hope Brady. We got a really flimsy return when Bo first came back from the dead, when Megan Hathaway brought him back, and then he was shot by Sean and fell into a coma. Then we got the whole Bo's sepsis story. which wasn't so much a Hope and Bo reunion story. It was more designed to exit John Black after Drake Hogestyn passed away. So, it wasn't about bringing Bo and Hope Brady back to us. And boy, I think it'd be great to see them return and for them to have a lengthy arc, at least for a while. One last duo I'd like to see back is not a romantic pair, but a mother and son. I think it'd be a whole lot of fun to get Vivian Alamein back for an arc along with her son Stefan DiMera. And if you remember, Vivian and Yvonne Moraes kidnapped and hijacked Stefan back to Alemania last year